Hey there, and welcome to another episode of Everyday English Vibes. I'm Emma.
And I'm Jake. Whether you're out on a walk, cooking dinner, or just taking a break, we're so glad you're tuning in. This podcast is all about helping you sound more natural and confident in English, the kind of English real people use in real life.
Exactly. Today's episode is all about something we all experience feelings and emotions.
But instead of saying things like, I'm sad or I'm tired, we're going to show you expressive, native-like phrases that'll bring your English to life.
So here's how today's episode will go. First, you'll hear a short conversation between two friends.
It's full of natural emotional expressions, just like you'd hear in real life. As you listen, try to catch as many of those phrases as you can.
Then, we'll break the conversation down together, slowly and clearly. We'll explain the idioms, define tricky phrases, and show you how to use them in everyday situations.
And of course, we'll share a few personal stories and examples to help make things stick. So, grab a drink, get comfy, and let's dive in.
Jake, I can't even begin to describe this week. I feel completely wiped out.
Oh, no. You look like you've been through the ringer. What happened?
Where do I start? First, I barely slept all week. Then on Wednesday, I came down with something sore throat, headache, the whole package.
Yikes, that sounds rough. Were you stuck in bed?
Yeah, for 2 days straight. I honestly felt like a walking zombie. Every part of me hurt.
I've been there. But hey, you're upright and talking now. That's a good sign. You must be on the mend.
A little. But just when I thought I was bouncing back, my internet crashed right in the middle of a Zoom meeting with my boss.
Oof, I bet he wasn't thrilled.
He totally lost it. I mean, full on meltdown, raised voice, blaming everyone. I thought, wow, someone's clearly in a mood today.
I would have freaked out too. Actually, something similar happened to me yesterday. A dog barked right behind me while I was jogging. I literally jumped out of my skin.
I know that feeling. My nerves are so shot this week. Even my toaster popping makes me flinch.
We both need a serious recharge this weekend.
Let's start with the first phrase Lisa used. I feel completely wiped out.
Yeah, that's a really common way to say you're totally exhausted. When you're wiped out, it means your energy is gone, physically, mentally, or both.
Exactly. It's a bit more casual than exhausted. And you'll hear it all the time in everyday English. It's like saying, I've got nothing left in the tank.
For example, imagine you've been on your feet all day, running errands, stuck in traffic, dealing with 100 little things. You finally get home, drop your bag, and say, I'm wiped out.
Or after a tough workout. I remember doing a spin class a few months ago, 45 minutes of non-stop pedaling. I walked out of there thinking, I am seriously wiped out.
And it's not just physical. You can feel wiped out after a stressful day at work or after dealing with a difficult situation.
Right. Like after a long meeting full of decisions, charts, and awkward silences, by the end, you're just done. That's a perfect moment to say, I'm totally wiped out.
So next time you feel drained, not just a little tired, but completely out of energy, try using this phrase. It's short, clear, and it sounds supernatural.
All right, let's talk about Lisa's line, I felt like a walking zombie. Now, this one isn't a traditional idiom, but it's definitely a common native phrase. When you say, I'm a walking zombie, it means you're so tired, so drained, that you're just going through the motions. No energy, no focus.
Yeah, and it paints a really clear picture. You're not fully awake, you're not really there, you're just moving around like a, well, zombie. Slow, blank, exhausted.
We use this a lot when we haven't slept well. Like, I stayed up binge watching that show. This morning, I was a total zombie at work.
Or after traveling across time zones, jet lag hits, your body's confused, you're just a walking zombie.
I had one of those days recently. I stayed up prepping a presentation, slept maybe 4 hours, and the next day I was bumping into furniture, forgetting names. I was like, don't talk to me. I'm a zombie today.
It's casual, it's visual, and people instantly get what you mean. And it's flexible too. You can say, I'm a zombie, I feel like a zombie, or even I'm running on autopilot.
So, next time you're running on empty, no sleep, no focus, just tell your friend, I'm a walking zombie today. They'll totally get it.
Next up, Lisa said her boss totally lost it when the internet crashed. This is a very common phrase in English, especially when someone has an emotional outburst.
And when someone loses it, it usually means they lose control of their emotions. They get angry, frustrated, or overwhelmed, and they react in a big way, shouting, crying, panicking, something dramatic.
Right. It's like saying they couldn't keep it together. One minute they're fine, the next minute, boom, they explode.
And you can use it in serious situations, but also in everyday moments. Like, my kid lost it when I turned off the cartoons.
Or I was trying to stay calm, but when he lied to me again, I totally lost it. That shows you reached your emotional limit.
And it works in the past tense or present. Like, she's about to lose it if you can see someone getting more and more frustrated.
We've all had those days. Long meetings, no coffee, and someone says one wrong thing and you lose it.
Exactly. It's very expressive and totally natural. Just keep in mind, it's informal, so it's best in casual conversations.
So when someone has a mini meltdown, not just upset, but full-on reaction, you can say they lost it.
Okay, let's look at the phrase, she was clearly in a mood. It might sound simple, but it carries a lot of meaning and it's super useful.
Yeah, when someone is in a mood, we usually mean they're acting irritable, quiet, annoyed, or just a little off, and we're not exactly sure why.
It's a polite way to say someone seems grumpy or touchy without being too harsh or direct. Like, don't talk to him right now. He's in a mood.
It's also vague on purpose. You don't have to explain what's wrong, you're just noticing the vibe. You could say, she didn't say much at dinner. I think she was in a mood.
And it works with different emotions too. You could say she's in a silly mood or he's in a great mood, but most of the time, in a mood on its own means something negative or tense.
Totally. I had one of those mornings last week. Spilled coffee, missed the bus, forgot my keys. By the time I got to work, I was definitely in a mood.
So, if someone's being short, snapping at people, or just looking annoyed for no clear reason, that's your phrase. Next time you sense some quiet tension in the air, just say, ooh, someone's in a mood today.
Now, let's talk about that funny but very real expression. I literally jumped out of my skin.
This phrase is used when something suddenly shocks or scares you so much that you actually react physically, like you flinch or jump.
Exactly. It's not about long-term fear, it's that instant jolt, like when something unexpected happens and your body just panics for a second.
For example, I jumped out of my skin when the fire alarm went off, or she jumped out of her skin when the cat jumped on the couch.
It's super common in everyday speech, especially when telling stories. Like, I was watching a horror movie, and when the ghost appeared, I jumped out of my skin.
I totally said that. I remember once I was home alone and my phone rang loudly at midnight. I actually screamed. Total jump out of my skin moment.
Or even if someone just sneaks up behind you. Don't do that. You made me jump out of my skin.
So remember, this is the perfect phrase for those instant shock moments. It's dramatic, funny, and makes your storytelling much more expressive.
Try it next time something startles you. People will know exactly what you mean.
And that brings us to the end of today's episode. We hope you've enjoyed learning all of these colorful ways to talk about feelings and emotions.
Yeah, from wiped out and been through the ringer to jumping out of your skin, these expressions can really make your English sound more natural and full of life.
And remember, the best way to learn them is to use them. Try saying them out loud, write them in a sentence, or even share them with a friend.
Yeah, maybe next time you've had a rough day, instead of just saying, I'm tired, go ahead and say, I'm wiped out, or I'm a total zombie today.
We'll be back next time with more useful phrases, real life situations, and plenty of fun examples.
Thanks for joining us here at Speak Everyday Today Vibes. Keep listening, keep learning, and as always,
Keep it real and keep it natural.